So, Greg.
Yeah.
You get to play a little game called No Man's Sky.
I did get to play No Man's Sky.
I got questions for you.
Lay them on me.
What the hell is that game?
It's fucking awesome. We talk. If you remember
it's funny you said that because you were a little disenchanted with it.
The PlayStation post show after when we sat down and did the what do we call it, the Gamescast post show for Sony. I came out and we got to that point and I said, I'm sick of seeing this demo. What the fuck is this game? I'm sick of seeing we're gonna climb into the spaceship. We're flying around. We went to this planet. Now we're down here. Now we're doing this. All right, demo over. And you're like, what the fuck is happening? What am I doing here? What's the moment to moment gameplay? And so on Thursday after E3, I got to go there, and that would have, if we had seen that in the regular week, that for sure would have gotten one of my faces, and I would have made an argument for Game of the Show.
Really?
Yeah, for sure.
Damn,
it's that good, dude. I mean, if we want to start in try to get to a sentence, it's Minecraft in space, which is awesome. It's open world Minecraft in space. You know what I mean? The whole galaxy, everything else. The point of the game is that everyone's trying to get to the center of the universe. There's something there. We don't know what or whatever. And the way you're doing that is everybody starts with a small ship, and then you go and you harvest resources to make your ship better, to make your suit better, to make better guns. And then you're using that hyperdrive lets you get closer to the center. You start jumping out, because he did the thing, right, where you pull out and you see he's like, all of these are suns that have planets rotating and da-da-da-da-da. Like, you do all that, and so it becomes this game of how do you want to play it and what do you want to be in this world. And you can be the explorer, you can be going trying constantly to get closer to that. You can be the trader, you can be the fighter, you can be the guy who's running freight, you can be the guy who's just gaming the system and going to Galaxy A. Yeah, this is because they were talking about they have testers who are playing it, right, who aren't even landing on planets. What they're doing is going to different galaxies, going to the trading shops that are like on the space stations, right, buying element A at a really cheap rate because this galaxy sells it cheap, then going to another galaxy, buying element B because it's super cheap there, then going to Galaxy C where they combine them and then sell this thing at an inflated rate.
I
love just
that.
Making money hand over fist doing that, and that's all they're doing. And so that's the thing. And like Colin said it when we were talking about it, and like what I got out of it, right, is that it feels a lot like EVE Online in a way, right, where there is an economy growing here and there's all these different people, and they were talking about it like, all right, this is, you can jump in there and you can get this resource and you can come out and this planet's rich in this resource. You can go down there, you can spend all your time harvesting and getting what you want and then fly out, but there could be a pirate just waiting out there who isn't ever in the mood to go harvest and will shoot you down or try to shoot you, take your stuff and get it back.
And would the pirate be a person?
This is the question.
Yar.
I don't understand how multiplayer works in this game. And it was one of those things I didn't ask in the demo just because I was caught up in everything else but talking about it. And I'm like, I'll look at previews after the fact and go look. I Googled around before this Gamescast and there's not even a definitive answer. And what they were saying in 2014 is that there is traditional multiplayer in it, but it won't be ready for launch. But that was in 2014. 2015, Kevin, correct me if I'm wrong, the way they were talking in this demo made it sound like it's going to be a real thing. You have somebody there playing. He's shaking his head, yeah. And so that's what I'm unsure about. Because like there's definitely multiplayer in the sense of that asynchronous thing of I get to a planet and I'm the first person there and I scan it and because this is the explorer track, right, where maybe I don't want to even give a shit about the center of the galaxy. I just want to explore planets and have a good time, get resources, build a better craft, build a better suit, build a better gun, and then I'm just exploring different planets. I land there from the first person there, I scan it, it'll say you found this animal on top of the whatever creature, you found this planet, go to one of the upload link posts, go there, upload that to the world, then I get to name the planet, I get to name the animal, I get to do all these different things, you know what I mean? So then filter into your world, so if you ever get to that planet, it's there. But they talked like he had said something along to the effect of like you could have not a gang, but you could have like a roving band of guys, which makes it sound like okay, so there is real time multiplayer right there.
Yeah,
but unclear, and I haven't been able to figure something out online. That's a failure on my part.
I did a brief like scanning of a couple articles, and I saw people make reference to that this is not an MMO, even though people think that it is. It's more of a single player game with
asynchronous options. Yeah, it's this weird thing, and it's like I said, I was down on it just because I was sick of seeing the same demo. All right, I get the game's beautiful. I get there's a lot to do. What does that mean? You know what I mean? And it wasn't until we were on the planet, shooting things, collecting them, going in and seeing like their periodic table filled out of what they've discovered and what they have and how this works into that. I was like, oh, okay, you know what I mean? Like that, and I assume that's how this multiplayer is going to be too. How it's got to click where I have to see what's happening to figure out what's going on.
So was there combat?
Yeah, there's combat.
You're fighting other people. Well,
In
AI.
the demo, yes, I'm fighting an AI. Yeah, what it was is, you land on the planet. There's going to be peaceful animals, and sometimes there's going to be hostile animals, and you shoot them and whatever. Even if it's peaceful, you can shoot a whole bunch of stuff. But every planet has like space cops on it, like there's space cop outposts.
Fucking space
that are
cops,
like
man.
robot probes or whatever, right? So you have like a GTA wanted level, right, where it starts ticking up of like, hey, you're really fucking up this planet. Why are you killing all the? And they'll come out and you kill them, and then it goes up more, and then you try to get out. But in that galaxy, now you have a wanted level.
Really?
And so there's space stations out there with these orbs that are coming out, or not orbs,
Wait, in that system you
probes.
mean, right?
What did I say?
In the galaxy, because there's only one galaxy in the game, right?
No, it's well. I mean, how do you? No, I get. Yeah, I guess the system is what you're saying, right? But what Kevin? They didn't.
I just want to make sure I'm understanding the terminology.
Well, I mean, I'm not Mr. Space, so
You're trying to get to the center of the galaxy. That's the point of the game,
so,
right?
So then the systems would be all the different planet system clusters around the sun.
Because I was wondering if there were multiple galaxies, then it was like the game is unfathomably big. But it's still
I mean, there's
unfathomably
infinite
big.
suns or whatever, so yeah, it still is unfathomable. That's the whole problem. But yeah, if you jump to another system around another star, then yeah, you're fine, and that you drop a new wanted level there or whatever. But there's dog fighting, there's other ships to shoot down, there's people to run from, there's all this stuff.
So do you have a health bar?
Yes.
What happens if you die?
If you go back to the last time you save/uploaded your stuff. So like if I landed on a planet, I discover a creature, but I kill a whole bunch of stuff and get shot to death, and I'm gonna respawn at the space station out there having not discovered that stuff because I didn't upload it before I die, and I'd lose all the resources from the last upload/sync point or whatever you want to call it.
You go ahead.
Does it seem like there is an actual game campaign? Is there a campaign mode?
He's nodding his head yes. I think there's a campaign as much Minecraft as a campaign. I mean,
Okay.
there's a more drawn out goal of something's in the center of the galaxy. Everybody's being drawn towards the center of the galaxy. But they were saying like when they launch it, they're going to go very Minecraftian. We're like on version 1. Like when Minecraft originally came out, you remember there were no wikis, there were no in-game guides to what do these two things do. They want this to be a game for explorers. They want you to get out there, get into this world, and you and I have a real conversation, whether it be through the internet or in person. I had element whatever and element whatever, and I put them together and made element 2 ever. You know what I mean? Like they want it to be like there's this movement behind it that you're finding stuff, and then later on they want to start rolling out updates like that and make it a bit more clear. But they want it to be the Wild West when the game first comes out, which is cool. And that's the whole thing too. You know, they're asking about, people ask them all the time about this or that, and like, you know, they were talking about like vehicles for on, you know, like there's no like moon rover or whatever, and he's like, yeah, there is no rover right now, but that's something, you know, we'd love to add later on down the line. Like they see this evolving like Minecraft when they talk about it. Now I'm throwing Minecraft around a lot. In the demo they did not throw Minecraft around a lot, for the record.
Let me ask you this. Let's play detective a little bit, because
Sure.
we're trying to figure out like the readiness of this game.
Yeah.
This game it's impossible to make a vertical slice for this game. So that's one clue that they kind of glossed over at the conference, but didn't really like. He was like, we're playing the game organically. We're gonna find.
Yeah, he's like, hey, I'm gonna jump to here. I don't know what I'm gonna find.
So you've played a lot of games. You and I have done a lot of demos and know a lot about the games industry. What is the level of polish on the game right now? What in other words, what are the load times telling you? What is the interface telling you? What's the polish telling you?
Sure.
About the game. What was locked off, if anything? These should indicate when this game is going to come out.
Yes. All of the things you've just listed were giving me a thumbs up. Load times weren't atrocious. There was one where he's like, what did he say? We were loading, and he's like, this is taking 25 seconds right now. When it ships, it's going to take 7. Like that's how it's going to be. I think it was the hyperdrive jump or whatever. That looked great. I didn't have, like, we were there passing the control around, so there wasn't a lot of menu stuff. Interface wise though, it looks locked. Like it's one of those things, like it felt like what I was playing could be released, and I would pay money for it and be happy with it. You know what I mean? To run around, like, is like the thing we were doing, right, and we've talked about on the other show, I know, is like there's real, it's like Red Faction. There's real, you know, you're damaging the terrain, you're shaping the planet. So like I jumped into basically a giant crater hole, right? And it's like, well, how do I get out of here? And granted, I had a jetpack, so I could just go up and fly out. But I also then just took my gun's secondary function, which he had upgraded obviously to a crazy thing, where I'm just shooting out bombs and they're just taking out huge chunks of ground. So I just made, you know, a tunnel up by aiming a little bit. Or not tunnel up, you know what I mean? Like a slope up or whatever. And like all that was running great, no falling through the world, you know what I mean? Like textures are there. It looks great. Like I think, at the very least, I feel like we're getting really close to a giant beta. of like, hey, everybody, let's try this game out. You know what I mean?
I wonder if that's the announcement.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was their thing, where they're like, hey, everybody, November,
I never even considered that.
November, No Man's Sky, open beta or PlayStation Plus beta or whatever, leading up to our 2016 release. And they run with that for a while.
Yeah, I wonder if that's an interesting point. I wonder if that's... I never thought of that. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right. That game demands a beta, doesn't it? Yeah. So any word on... Because this is still a confusing thing to me. And I'll look at it again. Actually, can you go to No Man's Sky's wiki, like just its Wikipedia page?
Sure.
Because one of the questions I have for you about this as well is to clear up some confusion that I have personally about the way the game's talked about. Is this game coming to other consoles? Do we know anything about that? Sony's treating it like it's a first-party game.
Right.
And they've said that in the past as well, that they're treating it as if it's their own game. Are they publishing it? Like, who's paying for this fucking game? And is Hello? And I'm asking you, quite like interrogating you, but you had time with the game.
Yeah.
Is Hello Games still a very small studio? Because they were like no more than 12, 15 people, I think, at the most, when they were making Joe Danger. So
they're still small.
So like, how are they making a game like that? Like, there's so many. I don't understand how they're making this game. So wait, hold on. It says
the game will be released simultaneously for PlayStation 4 and Windows.
Yeah, so platforms is only marked as Microsoft and PlayStation 4 on the Wikipedia page. I just still feel, and I know, like, I don't want to treat it like it's real exclusive because it's on PC. It's not really, but unless you play it, a lot of Xbox games are on PC. I think that's a reasonable way to treat it exclusive. There's something tells me Sony's like all in on this game, and they just haven't said anything yet. Mm-hmm. But I don't. They've just spent so much time on it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm wondering if the beta is sooner. I wonder if the beta is like in August, and I wonder if the game comes out this fall.
That would be crazy. That would be super nuts.
In its state of readiness that you were talking about, I mean, it just seems to be optimized
for a controlled thing. Yeah, I mean, of jumping around. I mean, it's still procedural generated, right? And he was talking about like, we were asking what if you warp into a system and warp into a like destroyer or whatever. And he's like, that shouldn't happen, but it did just happen during one of our other demos where a Star Destroyer came in and crushed me. And it's like, that's not how it's supposed to happen, but it can happen that way.
So, all right, two more other questions for you.
Sure. I'm on the Verge article. It's funny because I came to you guys and I tweeted actually as soon as we finished, like, I finally played it and I'm now a believer. And that was a headline in the story, which always made me laugh.
What is the cost? And is it a retail game?
Ooh, good question. I don't think it's a retail game. I think it's $20.
$20?
Yeah.
Really?
I do. Yeah. Yeah, they don't have any. See,
can you go
we
back?
all fucked up at once and didn't ask about multiplayer.
Can you go back to Hello Games, or can you go back to the Wikipedia page and look at Hello Games' staff size?
Sure.
None of this makes any sense. That's what I'm so confused about. Like, it sounds like a game you can put on a disc and get $60 for. Mm-hmm.
I don't think it's got the cachet to it. Is the problem? I think Sony and Hello Games has to look at it and be like, we're trying to do Minecraft again. And again, I'm the only one throwing around Minecraft like that. They didn't. Yeah, they have 10 employees. I don't understand how they must have a million contractors for this game. I can't imagine. I have so many questions about this game. That's why I'm so impressed about it. At one point, I'm like, I don't really care about it, or I didn't. A lot of people were crazy about it. When we were still at IGN, everyone was like, oh, No Man's Sky. I'm like, I don't even really know what it is. Now that I have an idea of what it is and how it plays and the way it sounds like right up my alley. So I hope. No, I mean, like, it's totally. It's space the game. You know what I mean? Like, let's go explore space. Let's just hang out. And that's what I was saying to you guys. I pointed Kevin and the Hello Games guys of like, it totally seems like the perfect game to wind down with every night. Sit down and maybe only play for an hour, maybe only play for 30 minutes, and you're just gonna go chill and find a new planet and harvest whatever resource is in this galaxy or whatever this system that you need.
It sounds interesting. It's definitely such a unique game to the point where I'm like, what the hell is this? Yeah. And then now I think we're finally past that point of not knowing. Like, it's no longer just the demo. Now that you've seen this, and now that we know that what the game is, I think people need to stop asking, what is it? Yeah. And, you know what I mean? Getting so hung up.
I understand that frustration.
Really, I know, me too. And that's the whole thing is like, it definitely strikes me as a game that you need to play. Because once I sat down and played, like the best part too, we were with our friend Sean Norton, and we were running around playing in this world or whatever, right? And he was like, coming up on animals, like, and he shot at it, and we're like, what are you doing? He's like, I was trying to see if I could get my gun up. And it's because your gun doesn't default to being up. Your gun defaults to being down. You are there to explore, research, catalog this planet, right? Because you're building out your little encyclopedia of everything you've come into contact with.
So good.
Exactly. And it's like, it's the journey here isn't to shoot and blow the fuck out of everything, right? It's to fucking hang out, run around, fly around,
dinosaurs,
make
space
shit,
dinosaurs.
yeah, find some cool ass space
Did you find any
dinosaurs.
space dinosaurs?
No, well, I didn't. Not like dinosaurs. I found a giant creature that looked like an armadillo. Like he was
I
cool.
love armadillos.
Killed a whole bunch of them. Got chased off by the space cops.
See,
But then
I like this. I killed an armadillo, got chased by the space cops.
Got my little ship, took
sold
off.
me.
You know what I mean? Like flew off into space.
Cool.
Yeah, it's cool. It's really, really, really cool.
And you said that your ship is dynamic, right? So you can technically make a Death Star.
That's well, they were dancing around how big, because we were, of course, they're nice British chaps, and we were a whole bunch of Americans, and we're like, and he's like, yeah, you can blow chunks out of the planet and stuff. We're like, can we build a nuke? And he's like, what? Like we escalated, like how big can we do this? And can we nuke the planet? Like, and then Sean's like, what about a Death Star? And he's like, all right, guys, slow down a second. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not sure what the limits are going to be and how far you can build stuff out.
Can you imagine that guy that just makes the fucking Death Star?
Just fucking coming through.
You come into a system
just blowing up everyone's planets.
like renaming everything.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
I love that.